heading to Yale early with a full scholarship. What they didn't know was that I'd also been taking business and finance courses online, learning everything about Dad's company, about the accounts they thought were hidden. "We're so proud of you," Dad said at my small graduation party. "Just family and a few of their close friends. No one from my school. No one who really knew me. You've exceeded all our expectations," Cassandra added, her arm around my shoulder for the photographer they'd hired. "Yale early admission. The board is already excited about your future with the firm." I smiled and thanked them, knowing that in less than 2 years, I would own that board. The summer before college, Cassandra announced she wanted to adopt me legally. "You're my daughter in every way that matters," she said, touching my cheek during a lunch at her favorite overpriced restaurant. "Let's make it official before you go to college." I studied her face, looking for any sign of genuine emotion. There was a certain tension around her eyes, a calculation in the way she glanced at Dad before returning her gaze to me. This wasn't about love. It was about securing her position. An adopted daughter would strengthen her claim to the family business should anything happen to Dad. I smiled and hugged her, whispering that nothing would make me happier. "We should celebrate," Dad said, already signaling for the check. "Maybe a weekend in the Hamptons? We could invite the Prestons. Their son is at Harvard Law." "That sounds perfect," I replied, thinking of the file I'd compiled on the Prestons' failing software company and the mysterious infusion of cash it had received from one of Dad's shell corporations last year. That night I called an emergency meeting with my trustees. We gathered in the judge's book-lined study after I told Dad and Cassandra I was spending the night with a friend to celebrate graduation. "They want me to sign adoption papers," I explained. "I need to know if that affects our plan." The lawyer spread documents across the mahogany table. "Actually, this could work in our favor. The adoption process requires financial disclosures. We'll get an updated picture of their assets. And it changes nothing about your mother's trust. That's ironclad. How close are we?" I asked. The accountant adjusted his glasses. "We've documented 67% of the missing funds, traced them through 4 countries to accounts we can identify. It's more than enough for criminal charges." "And the evidence about your mother's illness?" the judge asked gently. This was the hardest part for me, the possibility that Dad had not just betrayed Mom, but actively poisoned her. The medical experts we'd consulted couldn't definitively prove murder, but the pattern was suspicious enough for an investigation. "We keep that separate for now," I decided, one battle at a time. As I prepared to leave, the judge handed me a small wrapped package. "Your mother left this with specific instructions, to be given to you when you were ready to move forward." Inside was a vintage Montblanc pen that had belonged to my grandfather. "She used this to sign her first major acquisition," the judge explained. "Said she wanted you to have it when you were ready to take back what's yours." I carried that pen with me everywhere after that night. A talisman, a promise. 2 weeks later, Mother's Day arrived. Cassandra had always made a big production of it. Expensive brunches, professional photographers to document her mother-daughter bond for social media. This year, she'd planned a garden party for 30 of their closest friends. The adoption announcement would be the centerpiece. I spent the week before carefully